Sometimes love isn't spoken. It's simply seen in a pair of eyes that never give up. Eyes filled with patience, sacrifice, and a silent promise to protect, no matter what. This is the story of a mother, not a human mother, but a dog whose heart refused to surrender even to death itself. One quiet night, while her tiny pups were eating, she suddenly barked in panic, pushing them away from their food and forcing them inside their little shelter. The children were confused, whimpering softly, but she didn't stop. She looked toward the old man and his granddaughter inside the house, barking louder, as if trying to warn them of something unseen. But they smiled, thinking she was being playful. Then the old man noticed something strange. The water in his glass began to tremble. Within seconds, the floor rumbled, walls cracked, and the world shook apart. The old man had just enough time to grab his granddaughter and shield her as the house collapsed. Dust, darkness, and silence swallowed everything. The dog mother screamed, digging through the rubble, her paws tearing open, blood mixing with the soil. But she didn't stop. Through the endless night she dug, her puppies beside her, trying to reach the buried humans. As dawn broke, she smelled something faint. Not food, not earth, but help. She ran toward that scent, barking wildly until she found two rescue workers nearby. They tried to chase her off, thinking she'd gone mad. But when she bit one man's sleeve and looked into his eyes with desperate pleading, they understood. She led them through the ruins, straight to the trapped old man and the girl. Together, they were rescued, alive, but barely breathing. A helicopter hovered above, wind whipping through the chaos. First, the old man was lifted. Then it was the little girl's turn. But as she looked down, she saw her beloved dog and the puppies trembling below. Tears streamed down her face. "Please take them too," she begged. The rescuer shook his head. Orders from above. They had to leave now. As the helicopter rose into the clouds, the girl's voice broke in the wind, calling out for her friend. Below, the dog mother barked and ran, chasing the flying machine with everything she had. But the sky was merciless. Her legs gave out, her breath broke, and she stopped, staring upward with eyes full of waiting. She believed, somehow, her little girl would come back. And so she waited, through rain and ruin, her children beside her, in front of the shattered home that once held them all. Days passed. Hunger and fear wrapped around them like shadows. But the mother dog never moved far. When crows came to attack her pups, she fought fiercely, bleeding but never stepping back. When food ran out, she searched through the wreckage, found an old refrigerator, pushed it open with her dying strength, and found just one sausage. She didn't eat. She fed her babies. Then the storm came. Rain like knives, wind like monsters. They huddled beneath a broken beam, shivering. She looked at her pups, then at the small rubber ball her girl had once given her. She picked it up gently in her mouth, a memory, a promise, and decided. If her little human couldn't return, she would go find her instead. With trembling legs, she began the journey through the destroyed village. The path was brutal. Flooded roads, falling trees, collapsing bridges. At one point, a giant tree crashed down, barely missing them. She saved her babies just in time. But the worst came when they tried to cross a fragile wooden bridge. The earth shook again, and the bridge broke. They fell into the raging river, She fought the current, one pup in her mouth, the others clinging to her back. Somehow she made it to shore, collapsing from exhaustion. Her body was failing. She lay there, eyes half closed, remembering the day she first met that little girl. She had been abandoned, a stray left on the roadside, cold and unwanted. 2 children had found her, a brother and sister. The girl had lifted her up, smiling, saying, "You're safe now." Her brother had protested, "Dad's scared of dogs, we can't keep her." But the puppy had followed them home anyway. No matter how many times they tried to run, she followed. Small steps, hopeful eyes, determined heart. Finally, their grandfather had stepped in, smiling kindly. "Let her stay," he said. "This house needs love more than rules." And so she became family. She slept by their feet, waited by the door, guarded their laughter. Even the father, who once feared her, softened when he saw his little girl sleeping peacefully with the dog curled beside her. That night had changed everything. From then on, she wasn't just a pet, she was family. And now, lying broken on the muddy ground, that memory kept her alive. She couldn't die yet, not until she saw that girl again. Meanwhile, far away in a temporary shelter, the girl couldn't sleep. Her brother noticed her quietness, the way she looked out the window each night, searching the horizon. She smiled to hide her pain, but her heart still ached. Days turned into weeks. Then came the news. Survivors could return to check their homes. Their father, now part of the relief team, got permission to go back. The rescuer, who had once ignored the dog's cry, offered his seat to the girl, hoping for redemption. Everyone in the camp knew about the bond between that family and their dog. And so, one morning, they boarded a small plane back to the ruins of their village. As the plane descended, their hearts shattered. Homes were gone, streets erased. Yet, hope pushed them forward. They ran through the debris, calling, "Bibu! Bibu!" the name that once echoed through the fields. Silence answered. The girl's tears fell freely. She ran to the old wooden hut where they had first met. Empty. Then to the green meadow where they had played. Lifeless. Her voice trembled. "Bibu! I'm home! Please, where are you?" But only the wind replied. She sank to her knees, crying into the dirt, her father lifting her gently. "Sometimes," he whispered, "love doesn't stay beside us forever, but it never truly leaves." The girl wiped her tears, trying to smile, but her heart refused to believe. And then, a faint bark. Weak but real. They froze. Again, closer this time. Out from the mist and dust emerged a figure, dirty, limping, tail wagging slowly. The dog's eyes shone with recognition, and before anyone could move, the girl ran, screaming her name. The dog barked, louder and louder, until the two met in the middle, one falling into the other's arms, both crying without words. The brother laughed through his tears. The father's eyes glistened. In that single moment, the ruins felt alive again. Love had returned home. Because true love doesn't end. It survives storms, time, and death itself. Maybe this story isn't just about a dog and her girl. Maybe it's about all of us. About holding on when everything falls apart. About believing that love, once given, never disappears.
So if this story touched your heart, share what you felt in the comments below. And if you want more tales that reach the soul, stay with us here on FilmByteCinePulse. Because we don't just tell stories, we remind you what it means to feel. Until next time, keep believing, keep loving, and never give up. Goodbye, and may your heart always find its way home.